What's that? What'd you just do?
Improving your air around you.
You're just trying to get me drunk.
Luxury is about a feeling, it's about an emotion, it's about shared experiences. When you open a bottle of Glenmorangie, it's 200 years of history. Those brands have been part of events and history throughout time. He's the 8th generation master blender. He's the great-great-great-great-great-grandfather blended.
Here we go. Cheers.
Cheers. Hennessy has been associated with kings and queens and royalty. Quality stands the test of time.
Yeah, you're not Four Loko.
No, we're not.
I'm gonna take this with me.
We're in New York City. It's a great city, second to Chicago. And we are talking to the CEO of Moët Hennessy North America, Chris Gabaldon. Chris was previously a VP at Marriott International, where he worked with iconic luxury brands such as the Ritz and St. Regis. And we're gonna be talking to Chris about the challenges that the alcohol industry faces, his first time as a CEO, and of course, we're gonna try some of their delicious product, such as Dom Perignon. My name is William Salvi, and this is the CEO series, where we have real conversations with real CEOs. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Executive House. It's got the best content on CEOs and other executives. Let's go talk to Chris. All right, we are with the CEO of Moët Hennessy North America, Chris Gabaldon. Chris, thank you for joining the CEO series.
Well, good to see you. Good to be with you.
Yes, so tell me a little bit about your history and how you became the CEO. I know you were working at Marriott and then Ritz-Carlton, and now you're here. So tell me a little bit about that journey.
Yeah, I had a long hospitality career, 31 years in hospitality, and then somehow ended up here about a year ago. But no, it's actually a kind of a cool story. My background in business is luxury brands and experiential hospitality. And so I did that for many years, operations, commercial, global branding, that sort of work. And fantastic, worked on some of the world's finest hospitality brands and loved every minute of it. And then there's something about a call that comes from Moët Hennessy and says, do you want to take that call? And the obvious answer is yes, right? Because I mean, you see it back here, there are beautiful brands that Moët Hennessy has to offer. And luxury is about a feeling, it's about an emotion, it's about shared experiences. When you put on a fine watch, right, it's not about just telling time, it's about the artistry, the quality, the history, the timepiece, everything that goes into it. When you open a bottle of, Glenmorangie, it's 200 years of history in the making. When you open a bottle of Moët and Chandon champagne, it's culture in a bottle, right? Those brands have been part of events and history throughout time.
What are we drinking? This is Brian.
Yes, gentlemen, thanks for sitting
Yes.
down at the bar here. We're going to have the Hennessy Margarita. And if you've never had a Hennessy Margarita, be prepared to be wow, amazed, all the things.
Before I have a sip of this too, I've never had Hennessy, true story. Can I have just a little neat?
Give it a taste.
I'm gonna give it a shot.
No, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it, yeah.
It tastes,
This,
correct me if I'm wrong, it's how similar is it to whiskey?
well, and this is also the moment where you realize the interview just went downhill.
Downhill.
Right here.
Yeah, you're gonna
Shots at the bar,
So anyways,
and-
Chris, yeah. Let's try this
Cheers.
Hennessy Margarita. Go. Cheers.
Cheers.
Have you ever seen the meme where they're telling like very good? It's very good.
There you go.
I do like it a lot.
You know it's good when someone stops mid-sentence.
It's very good.
To talk about the drink.
I like it a lot.
Again,
Is it a margarita if it's not tequila? Is that what defines a margarita?
Ooh, great question.
I know.
So the actual technical thing that defines a margarita is triple sec. Triple sec is what makes a margarita. Otherwise,
Okay.
it's sour.
Okay.
So you can substitute out whiskey, tequila, in this case cognac, and you still have it in the same category as a margarita.
Okay.
Yeah.
You learn something new every damn day. So you've been CEO for a year and 2 months.
Just a little over a year.
Ish, yeah. How's it been?
Fantastic. Look, every business has challenges that you have to deal with every day, but I would tell you there's, we got an amazing team, we've got amazing brands. So I'd say the first year has been one of curiosity, dealing with a lot of changes and trials in the industry, but really thinking about the future of how do we take these great brands, making sure that we parlay them into the future and we do the right thing by them.
So you just mentioned changes in the industry. I just was reading articles, young people aren't drinking, and it's causing sales to go down from all alcohol companies, literally all of them. You mentioned experiences too, there's brand collaborations, like what are you all doing to address the fact that young people aren't drinking as much, because there's a health and wellness, I would say prioritization in their daily lives?
Yeah, let me maybe clarify the statement a little bit too, because we will often hear young people aren't drinking. And actually what you see is that they're consuming alcohol in different ways. So we don't see young people binge drinking the way that they used to. What we do see is young people that are willing to pay for better experiences. They're willing to pay for better quality products. So they're willing to trade up in the product they drink. They may decide, you know what, I'm just gonna have one cocktail or two cocktails, but I want better quality liquid in that cocktail. The other thing that you see is how they're drinking, like when are they consuming? So we talk an awful lot about how to meet the customer where they're at today. People are drinking during the day. They are consuming lighter, fresher, vibrant. The female consumer is expanding their repertoire. The rosé category is doing incredibly well. Light, fresh, a dynamic category that can be consumed in the day, in the night, with food, without food, feels light and refreshing. We're seeing a return to champagne. Why are you seeing a return to champagne? Because bubbles are exciting.
I love a good glass of champagne.
Well, they make you happy, right?
I love Dom. Because of, if I'm being completely honest, it's because of the brand.
This is vintage 2009 rosé, right? So all of Dom Perignon is vintage champagne. So that might mean that from time to time we skip a harvest. We just launched the Luminous bottle this year, but the vintage 2015 was launched last year. The previous vintage was 2013, so we skipped 2014 because we didn't think the harvest was of high enough quality that it would produce Dom Perignon, what we expected of Dom Perignon. All the vintages are different. Hennessy, for instance, you're seeing Hennessy show up at music festivals, daytime events, mixing with cocktails in Henny Ritas, Palomas. It's a great mixable drink that for years just wasn't experienced that way.
How hard is it to get these legacy brands that have been around forever to meet the consumer where they're at? Because they have their history, they have the story behind that history, and then now there is the element of needing to adjust with the times. How difficult is that?
I'm not sure it's difficult. I think what you got to do is you got to find the right collaboration, right? You got to find, first of all, in any collaboration, you got to find someone that's like-minded, right? Do they actually enjoy the product? Do they actually care about it, right? Because our products are not, our brands are not superficial in nature. They all have history to them. Or if they're new, the quality is truly authentic, right? These are not made up brands in any particular way. They are not marketing brands. They are true, authentic stories in a bottle, as we were talking about. So there's plenty of opportunity for collaboration. Most of it is finding someone that shares those values. And sometimes those values are around quality or excellence or storytelling or the craft or the liquid itself. This is kind of cool. We did a collaboration. Yeah, pick it up. Although the way I've been seeing you at the bar, I better put that back.
Hold on, let's just open it up.
Sure. We did that because look, LeBron is a cultural icon, Hennessy is a cultural icon. LeBron reaches so many audiences around the world, particularly here in the United States. Obviously, NBA is a cultural phenomenon, and Hennessy has served in many communities over time, and it's a fabulous blending of two great icons that came together. This is a collaboration with Ms. Knowles Carter. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous liquid, really unique mash bill, super smooth, super easy to drink, and the beauty of this is it was created in partnership with Ms. Knowles Carter, but obviously with Dr. Bill Lumsden, who is 5-time master distiller of the world. And he is the master distiller of Glenmorangie and Ardbeg, and absolutely just the best in the business. So it's a crafting of two fantastic artists.
Yeah. How do you make sure that the brands itself they have lasting power? That it's not just another celebrity alcohol that's being released because they have all this marketing power. How do you make sure that it's actually a good drinkable whiskey or a good drinkable Hennessy?
That is the best question. we wouldn't do something that was just celebrity brand, right? We wouldn't do anything that just said, let's put a headline, put a name on it, and just try to sell some bottles. And it's actually, we're blessed in this situation because this is actually now the official spirit of the Cowboy Carter tour, right? So we get the exposure, but at the same time, what stands behind it is the liquid inside is award-winning. So this isn't just some sort of made-up whiskey. This is truly a crafted whiskey. Now you have to run that path, right? So we're fortunate to get the exposure and the recognition, through the Cowboy Carter tour, but at the same time build the liquid credibility behind it, right? So making sure that the real tastemakers and the influencers in the industry, those that are mixologists like you just saw with Brian, right? They truly understand the craft inside of this. So you have to tell that story. Now that story takes a little bit longer to catch up than the sort of celebrity headline, but that's what we will do. That's what we do. Because it truly is a world-class liquid. It's award-winning.
Yeah.
Already.
I love it.
Yeah. In blind taste test before we launched it, it was winning awards.
One thing that I found really interesting on his perspective on the customer, and essentially like when I buy a bottle of champagne, the CEO of Moët Hennessy can't talk to the person who's buying a bottle of champagne. It would be very difficult to track who's doing that. But when he was working in hospitality, you could talk directly to someone who's staying at a hotel, talk to them about their experience, fix a problem if a problem comes up. But when you're selling a bottle of champagne or a bottle of Hennessy or whatever, you're going through a lot of different avenues to get that bottle ultimately to the consumer. How do you make sure the experience is a positive experience, specifically if people aren't willing to drink alcohol as much as older generations? And ultimately, younger people are replacing alcohol with other things like cannabis, like health and wellness products. So how do you make sure that when they do buy a bottle of champagne or when they do buy a bottle of liquor or spirits, how do they make sure that the experience of what they're doing is a very positive experience so they come back and be a customer for life? That's ultimately what they want. And these brands, again, have been around for hundreds of years, some of them. So I do think there's a certain beauty to it all. But how does that evolve with the times is something that they're going to need to address.
So just for fun, before you make the martinis, is there an XO bottle open up? Is that, by the way, pause. Tell him about XO before he tries it.
So XO, where you I always like to refer to these as almost being related. Where VS is young and rambunctious, it has these bold flavors. XO has those same bold flavors, but it's much more refined. So again, you get these outstanding nuances. And this is where you go, well, if I have VS, why would I need an XO? Well, this is great for mixing and sipping straight, where XO, you can certainly enjoy a cocktail, but we encourage you to drink this neat or on the rocks because all the work has gone into the bottle to give you one of the most prestige spirits you can have as a sipping, either it's beginning of the evening, end of the evening. It's your journey.
Have you been on camera before, Brian?
I don't even know what a camera is.
Because he's good. I may be cross-eyed after this.
What's that? Oh no, that's part of the point, right?
What is the most popular drink in your? What's the fastest growing in your?
The fastest growing. Hennessy is the largest.
Is the largest.
The largest, right? We sell more Hennessy than anything else. And then we sell champagne. So then champagne is the second largest in our portfolio. And that would be followed by rosé wines, right? When I was in Cognac with our master blender, he was pointing out barrels of Richard that were over 200 years old. Imagine that he was pulling Cognac out of a barrel that he's the 8th generation master blender. Cognac out of a barrel that
grandfather.
Great grandfather blended.
I missed a few greats.
But you think about it, Hennessy has been associated with kings and queens and royalty.
So you've been in luxury brands for a while. What's the biggest pushback you see from consumers of luxury brands? Say if they don't want to spend this much money or they don't want to experience this type of thing because they just don't see the value in it. Like how do you address those challenges if luxury brands are kind of viewed as a negative almost?
You know, I'm not sure. We went through that after 2008, where luxury was sort of the evil empire, I guess, right? Because it was about opulence and those sort of things. I don't think that luxury today is about excess or opulence. Luxury today is really about things that are timeless, made of enduring quality, that are rare in some degree, or at least rare because of the craft and artistry associated with them. So I don't know if it's attacking it as much as really trying to help people understand the story associated with great luxury brands. Because you're right, if it's just a hype brand that someone charges $200 a bottle for, that's not going to last. It's less about sort of the push and pull of his luxury, on the out or anything. It's really about the story of quality, authenticity, legacy, the richness, and that's what these products are.
Tell me about like interviewing for a CEO position at a company like this.
Right, it almost starts like a bit of a dating game, because obviously, is it the right fit? Is it the right time? Is it the right skill set? Because every job, a person is right for a job at the right time in the evolution of that company. And then of course the process gets quite rigorous, right? Skills, depth, leadership, management capabilities, experiences, those sort of things. The final moment of truth, though, was a moment sitting with the founder and CEO of the company. A fascinating experience to sit with someone that has that amount of sort of iconicity and depth in really developing the world of luxury as we know it today. Quite a fascinating moment, a moment of humility, a moment of excitement, a moment of challenge, right? And really leaving something like that with just an immense amount of inspiration and sort of excitement to get engaged.
What was the hardest question that he asked you? Or I should say, maybe what was the most thought-provoking question that he asked you? Because not many people have been interviewed by him.
I'd say the most thought-provoking question was really around the simplicity of the brands themselves, right? What do they mean to you? How have you experienced them? And these are kind of real moments of truth, because this is sort of the creator of what we know about the luxury world today.
Yeah.
And
rare for a founder too to make it this large too, and the scale that it has.
Yeah, that's right. And I think it's something that is really the standard bearer of what we have in luxury today. And because the organization spans from wines and spirits to fashion to jewelry to watches, we all play a role in the development of the long-term sort of health and viability of the business.
What's the biggest difference between going from like a VP role in luxury hospitality to now you're CEO?
I think it's really the element of knowing that the decisions you make are the final decisions, right? Relatively speaking, right? Depending on how complex it is. The hardest experience I've had as a CEO is we had to let people go a couple of months ago. And it's one thing to be part of the process when you're not the CEO. It is another to be the one that has to make the final decision and be accountable for people losing their jobs.
Was there any formidable experience that got you to become a CEO of Moët Hennessy?
I think a little bit of it is I wanted to run the business. Part of it is I liked the accountability, and I liked the sort of internal pressure and competitive nature that it puts on you. I think one of the most important things is where you start. And I started as a room service waiter, as an intern room service waiter in a resort in South Carolina. I worked at the front desk, I was a bellman, I worked in banquets, worked in restaurants. I loved being in the hospitality business, and I always loved wines and spirits brands. I don't wake up every morning and scratch my head and say, oh God, do I really have to go to work and do that? I wake up every morning thinking ideas going and going and going because I'm excited about what's going on. But if you're not passionate about it, if you're not interested in it, I think that's the difference in a job and something that's, much more fulfilling.
I appreciated Chris talking about the challenges that he faced when he was hired. Moët Hennessy had to lay people off, and every business leader has to do that. Specifically at big companies, they go through ebbs and flows of good times and bad, and there's a lot of macro challenges that Moët Hennessy is dealing with right now, and for Chris to talk openly about how he comes in, he's a year in and they have to do layoffs. He's new to the job and that's how he kind of starts. That's not easy to do, and I appreciated that he was just open about it, how it was very challenging. I mean, ultimately, like, I assume that Chris and leadership wanted to hire more people. It's not like they want to fire people. So when you work at a company as large as Moët Hennessy, and or at large companies, you know that leadership within the company needs to make difficult decisions in order for the company to continue. That's something that he had to do, and I appreciated his openness about it. All right, fire round?
To the bar?
Yeah, fire round? Yeah, to the bar.
Fire round's good.
Yeah. Book recommendation to leaders.
7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey.
I'm giving you any superpower, what is it?
Night vision.
Wow. When are you gonna use that?
I don't know, but it sounded like the answer I wanted to give you.
Last meal on earth.
Steak, filet, 45-day dry aged.
Oh,
yeah,
specific.
and a bottle of Insignia.
Biggest pet peeve.
Incompetence.
When was the last time you were afraid?
And I think one of the things about a job like this is that you are constantly worried about what's next, and when you make a decision, you're not sure if you made the right one. Hell, I was probably afraid yesterday of something.
How do you deal with stress?
I exercise.
First thing you do in the morning.
I exercise.
What would you do if I took this job away from you?
I would probably do something in the outdoor adventure category.
Outside hobby that people don't know you for.
I am a rabid Grateful Dead fan.
Are you really? I've been to 11 of their shows.
I've probably been to probably closer to 250.
You've been to that many?
Yeah.
Oh, Chris.
Yeah. These are great. People love them.
Yeah.
And who doesn't like to get stuff out of a vending
May
machine?
I?
And what better than Moët Hennessy?
This is cool.
Absolutely. Yeah.
D7. Boom. Oh, it's cold.
Yeah.
This is good.
It wasn't going to come out hot. Here, take 2 with you.
Take
two
two
with you. Yeah.
My wife and I are gonna have a time tonight. I mean, well, Chris, thank you so much for joining us on the CEO series. I appreciate it. Big fan of all these brands.
I appreciate it very much. Great thanks for having me on the show, and can't thank you enough.
Yeah.
Best interview ever.
Best interview. You gotta watch the damn show.
I'm
You said you
gonna
didn't
watch
watch
the
it.
damn show.
So I love talking to Chris in this interview. I thought he was a really smart person with regards to luxury brands and how to manage those luxury brands. This is his first role as CEO, so I'm really interested to see. He's still very new into it. And he took over when there are some serious headwinds within the alcohol industry. Younger people aren't drinking as much. There's a health and wellness emphasis right now, and that's something that they need to deal with. So I'm really interested to see how a company like Moët Hennessy, which has been around for hundreds of years, and they have brands that have been around for hundreds of years, how they evolve with the times. Because essentially, like, that's all they need to do. They need to keep their historical value of the brand while also evolving with the times. So I'm really interested to see how he leads Moët Hennessy North America into the future. Sometimes I'm touching these. I prefer.
You know what?
that.
As long as he doesn't reach over and like.
Have you ever seen Beverly Hills Ninja? They're like, well, maybe I can send you Dom Perignon. He's like, he doesn't know what the hell it is. Perhaps you can send your friend Dom to the room. They meant a bottle. He thought it was an actual person. I digress.
Well, had I known that, I would have just.
You ever see the movie Dirty Work?
No.
I've given you like 3 movie references and just over your head.
Could just start standing behind the bar.
You should just start drinking.
Hey.